this is not how you run a business, man. You have to, you have to take it seriously. You can't do, like आपका वो गारमेंट्स का शॉप है उसके बाजू में आप कॉमिक्स बना रहे हो, वो नहीं होता है. So you have to take it seriously. Like this is a serious business. Indian comics. मतलब ऐसा देख रहे हैं कि बस दुनिया का सातवां अजूबा देख लिया हूँ. इंडियन मैंने बोला तो फिर आके ऐसे ऐसे पलटाएगा. And I get so pissed off, like पहले तो मतलब now I get very, I get very hyper looking at them. आके ऐसे ऐसे देखेगा मतलब कुछ अजीब सा देख रहे हैं, मतलब कतार में खड़ा होके कुछ हसलर का मैगजीन का कुछ देख रहे हैं, ऐसा कुछ लग रहा है. So Bengal is somewhat, like it's a cursed state. From beginning itself, it went through partition, it went through that Naxalite revolution, it has gone through immense violence. So that I wanted to reflect in the story. Rono Yogi is actually like inspired from a real life character.
Okay.
There was a person called Runuguhun Yogi.
Oh.
So that guy, just do a little search. He was a cop. He was a very high-ranking cop. And whatever atrocities you are seeing in the book, they were done in real life.
Yeah, some certain people, जिनका मैं नाम नहीं लूंगा, but they have said that Shamik Dasgupta is hard to work with.
Yeah, I'm hard to work with.
ये कहा गया है.
I'm very hard to work with. I am ruthless. When it comes to my book, my pages, I won't give you green signal until you have done it. Like you are completely like perfect. So अभी artist लोग अगर इतना प्राइसी बिहेव करेंगे और डॉलर चाहिए तो बाहर चलो, ये चलो, और बाहर से भी कुछ लोग पोच कर रहे हैं इन आर्टिस्ट को. यहाँ से एक भी आर्टिस्ट, हम लोग उन लोगों को डेवलप करते हैं. We give them books to work on, and one day they suddenly the bird flew the nest. तो ये गलत है यार. और उसके बाद एक कवर भी नहीं करेंगे ये लोग, which is very wrong. You are forgetting your roots.
नमस्कार शामिक जी.
नमस्कार, कैसे हो आप?
Absolutely fine. Nice seeing you after, I suppose, Mumbai Comic Con.
Yeah, we had a chat in front of us.
It was a good event.
Yeah. Mumbai was quite interesting this year because I saw a lot of people who came interested about the content we have, and and the sales were pretty spectacular. So I think Mumbai was very good.
And I suppose more importantly, COVID के बाद probably it was the first comic convention Mumbai में. Or I mean, even I was amazed to see the quantity of fans and the readers who were there.
इंडियन कॉमिक बुक्स 10 साल पहले, लगभग एक दशक पहले, और भारतीय कॉमिक बुक्स एक दशक बाद में. What difference do you see as a person from the creative department? What difference do you see in writing, in the artworks? What is your perspective on this?
देखिए, राइटिंग का क्या है ना, राइटिंग तो फिर भी ठीक है. मतलब राइटिंग तो मैं 10 साल का 20 साल से कर रहा हूँ ऑलमोस्ट. वो रामायण 39 to 80 वो टाइम से. बट अभी क्या है कि ना, आई थिंक द इंडस्ट्री स्लोली स्ट्रक्चरिंग अप. पब्लिशर्स नए आ रहे हैं, पब्लिशर्स आर कोलैबोरेटिंग विथ ईच अदर. पहले क्या था ना, एवरीवन वाज जस्ट लाइक ए सिंगल आइलैंड. तो अभी वो आइलैंड का सिचुएशन थोड़ा कर रहा है. आइलैंड्स आर कन्वर्जिंग टुगेदर एंड ट्राइंग टू डू समथिंग गुड. अभी विलेज का भी ये आ जाएगा तो दैट विल बी अ बिग like a big sort of like a jump start. क्योंकि एक whenever something कॉमिक्स से जब लाइव एक्शन हो जाता है ना, तो इमीडिएटली लोगों का थोड़ा अटेंशन तो अच्छा इसका लाइव एक्शन बन गया ना. तो जैसा हुआ था इन द केस ऑफ मार्वल एंड डीसी एंड एवरीथिंग. So but still, it's a very hard business. It's a very hard business. I have been here for 20 years and I know what I have gone through. तो मतलब ups and downs चलता ही रहता है. बट ये राइटिंग का कुछ खास चेंज नहीं हुआ. राइटिंग जो भी हो रहा था अभी, सी क्वालिटी राइटिंग स्टार्टेड फ्रॉम 2006 व्हेन दिस वर्जिन कॉमिक्स केम आउट. हाँ, तो उस टाइम पे ही क्वालिटी राइटिंग चालू. उससे पहले थोड़ा बचकाना चला. I don't want to disrespect anyone, but फिर भी अब देखो अमर चित्रकथा या whatever बच्चों के लिए बनता था. तो कॉमिक्स फॉर टीन्स एंड एडल्ट्स या यंग एडल्ट्स उस टाइम से ही वो चालू हुआ. So now it's progressing slowly as time passes. Better stories will be told, I guess.
The best thing is there are so many new publishers, right? New people who are trying to make new content. So, which is very good, more the merrier, I would say. क्योंकि ये market में और content चाहिए. Like, how long can you survive on one Amar Chitragatha and one Rajpal itself? And that also their content is getting dated. It's not. So the young blood, they have to come forward and and take the torch. There were some publishers in I'd like to tell you about it. I don't want to take any names, but there were some publishers during our era, pre-COVID and whatever, who started making a lot of noise and and this and that. One or two comics came and then suddenly disappeared. And then he keeps on, Haji, hum denge, hum aa rahe. So it's quite funny, and like this is not how you run a business, man. You have to you have to take it seriously. You can't do आपका वो गारमेंट्स का शॉप है उसके बाजू में आप कॉमिक्स बना रहे हो, वो नहीं होता है. So you have to take it seriously. This is a serious business.
I mean, we definitely have to focus in it on it completely, but at the same time, वो focus करने के लिए the kind of motivation that you require, not everyone is having it, and there are so many difficulties in publishing a graphic novel or a comic book. For instance, right now at this very moment, जिस वजह से हम यहाँ आज आए हैं, उसी का एक उदाहरण लेकर हम चलते हैं. और ऑडियंस को, दर्शकों को मैं बताना चाहूंगा, जिस टॉपिक के बारे में हम बात कर रहे हैं वो है तारानाथ तांत्रिक, विच इज योर क्रिएशन. मुझे ये पढ़ने को मिली, और अगर अभी मैं तारीफ करना शुरू कर दूंगा तो लोग कहेंगे कि भाई चूंकि मैं एक चैट कर रहा हूं तो तारीफ करना तो बड़ा ऑब्वियस सा एक फॉर्मेलिटी होती है, लेकिन इट सरप्राइज्ड मी दैट ये आज से कई सालों पहले ओरिजिनली पब्लिश हुई थी, एंड इट
2014-15.
ओके. एंड इतने सालों में, इवन बीइंग अ कॉमिक बुक नर्ड, मुझे इस बारे में नहीं पता था. नाउ आई गॉट अ होल्ड ऑफ इट, एंड नाउ आफ्टर रीडिंग इट आई कंप्लीटली एब्सोल्युटली फेल इन लव विद दिस. और उसके रीजंस हैं, हाँ बिल्कुल उसके रीजंस हैं, एंड मोस्ट इंपॉर्टेंट रीजन इज प्रोबेबली नॉट तारानाथ हिमसेल्फ, नॉट the paranormal entities in the graphic novel, but that essence of Calcutta or Kolkata, as we call it, वो है इसका.
Basically मेरा since I am born and brought up in Calcutta, तो बचपन से आज तक जो भी देखा है, जो भी सीखा है, जो भी महसूस किया है, वो सबका it is sort of like an amalgamation, and I almost put everything into this. So that's why the story didn't happen in 1 year or 2 years. It was probably gestating for last say 20 years or whatever.
Damn.
So from the time when I was in college or something like that. Because I will tell you what happened. There was one incident when I was in college. I used to take the metro commute. So there's a station called Central, so which is like one of the biggest metro stations in Calcutta. So one day I just got down from the metro and I was taking the stairs, and then there is a place which was covered with like tarpaulin. I was just a little curious. I just removed the tarpaulin a little bit, and I just peeked inside. Then I saw that there was a fucking tunnel going inside, and there was lights over there, but the lights were only, up till, to say 10 meters or 15 meters. It went quite a distance inside, and it was quite creepy, I never expected a tunnel over there, maybe some work was going on. And it is true, Calcutta has got a very complex, subway tunnel system, which was created by the British because they modeled Calcutta after England, and England has also got a very, very, very complex network of sewer systems and stuff. So there are a lot of places in Calcutta which are, which we don't even know of till date. So that was one image which actually stuck with me for a long time. And then when I started developing this story, like धीरे धीरे जो भी देखा है बचपन से मेरा, like my friends, like like the different places and everything. So all of it came into the story. And thankfully, I had got a good artist, like with Kamal Saha and Vikas Satpathy, who actually, like Vikas not so much because he's not from Calcutta, he's from Odisha, तो उसको सब reference देना पड़ता था, ये location है देखो ये है वो, उसको फोटो भेजते थे, then he used to like take reference from there. Kamal on the other hand, he understood, like when I just gave the script to him, he understood the basic DNA of the story, and since he is also from the same location, same like native place, so it was much easier for him, like to get into the groove and like make those wonderful pages that he made. I'm very sorry that he's not working in comics very frequently nowadays. Even if he does, I don't know for which property and what he's doing.
I mean, this is definitely not for kids. It's something that is meant to be shown on OTT. OTT बोल रहा हूँ क्योंकि थिएटर में तो सारे कट्स लगा देंगे इसके ऊपर. OTT is the only best platform that can do justice with this probably. लेकिन मैं इस पे सवाल पे वापस आना चाहूंगा, और सवाल ये है कि even after such an amazing graphic novel, आखिर ये गैप क्यों रहा है बीच में? Like as you said, 14, 15, and now we are reading it in 2023. Yeah. So what exactly happened in between?
So see, I'll have to ruffle some feathers over here, and I'll be very frank about it. The publisher, Speech Bubble Entertainment, they started off, like with good intention. The main guy over there, Surojoy Babu, is a nice gentleman. He's from London, and he is very much interested in arts and all these things. So he wanted to make a graphic novel. So he was suggesting me, can you do something based on one of the characters of Bengali literature? So at that time, I thought, let's try out this character. So I started working with him. But this guy was surrounded with a bunch of, I would be very blatant, morons, I'm telling you. So he was not the only person. There were 2 other partners with him, and those partners were good for nothing. So then whatever I was telling them, they were doing the other thing, and like he had a lot of these problems. Like it had a very problematic production history. So at the end of the day, like he was not ready to do it the way, like Aswin, I will tell you, from Reality Inclusions. So he is very focused, like he knows what he's doing, and he is focused in that. And he is, and till now it has, like it has worked for him and for us so far. But unfortunately, this gentleman, Surojoy, or Joyda as I call him, very nice fellow, we are very good friends. But he was not capable of running a company like this. So, so in between, he was going through some financial crunch and everything. So बीच में जब सीरीज 1 खत्म हो गया, सीरीज 2 चालू किया हम लोगों ने, एंड दैट टाइम आई वाज इन फ्लो आल्सो. देन इन बिटवीन बोला कि नहीं हमारा थोड़ा प्रॉब्लम चल रहा है, तो मैंने बोला छोड़ो बाबा, आई एम डन. तो क्या होता है ना, बीच में वो ब्रेक हो गया. एंड इफ यू हैव सीन द सेकंड स्टोरी एज इट स्टार्टेड ऑफ, नाउ आई डोंट नो व्हाट टू डू विद दैट स्टोरी. लाइक पहले एक सोच था दिमाग में, अभी मुझे वो थोड़ा बचकाना लग रहा है, मे बी इट्स नॉट दैट गुड. तो वो बीच में वो बंद हो गया. देन then I said that fuck it man, I'm not getting involved in this anymore. Then again he did TNT का एक हाफ लेके he translated in Hindi and published it. हिंदी में जब पब्लिश हुआ, a lot of people were asking second part कब आएगा. तो शुरुआत में हिंदी में इतना सेल्स नहीं हुआ है, because it's a new character, like and the way the book was published, the production quality was not very good. पेपर का क्वालिटी और ये सब इतना कुछ खास नहीं था.
Okay.
तो बीच में तो वो एक ही पार्ट आया, उसके बाद he lost his he lost his courage to like go ahead and publish a second part. Instead what he did was he published the whole story in Bengali. So which was a good idea, and since the story is based on a Bengali character with Calcutta's backdrop and everything, and I think it was released in 2016 book fair, Calcutta book fair, 2016-17. A lot of people bought it, but then there also the production quality was so horrible. The guys one of his partners was given the job of getting the book printed. Usually, I used to take care of the printing also that time, and I did it pro bono because I wanted like good quality books to come out in the market. But that time I was not there. I was in Bombay, and this guy, he went ahead. I don't know whether he wanted to cut some cost or whatever. The view quality was horrible, and whoever has bought that book, these 4-part books, they have they have the only thing I've got countless messages from people. हाँ दादा बुक तो बहुत बढ़िया है लेकिन बाइंडिंग इतना खराब है 2 दिन में सब पेज निकल गए. So yeah, and I got this complaint from at least, I'm telling you, 40 to 50 people. Whoever they have messaged me. So it was I got very pissed in the end. I thought that what I am doing. I've created such a good content and you are just taking it for granted. So I told them कि आप एक काम करो ये बेच दो. There was this production house in Bombay. It's called Cat and Mouse Entertainment. They were interested to buy this story, but they wanted the full IP rights, no optioning, nothing.
Mm-hmm.
They wanted full IP rights, like everything. I told him, I don't know whether you know the concept of option. So I told him कि शुरू में बोला था ऑप्शनिंग के लिए दे सकते हो. वो कहा नहीं बाबा ऑप्शनिंग क्या दे दो अभी हो गया. So whatever amount he offered him, he took it. Okay. So then it went to Cat and Mouse and it was sitting over there. So these guys, they are trying to make a live action production of that, but you know how hard it is to make something like it's not so easy. It doesn't happen in a day, a year. It takes years to get something done. So then I got it was there gestating over there. They are trying to do something. It is still in the process. So I told them the main guy over there, Rameshji. I told him that Rameshji, this book is there. It's rotting. Like this content. So why don't we bring it back? Get it back in the market. A lot of people haven't read it yet. Because first run जो था वो sold out हो गया था. At least it was like maybe issue 1 and 4 sold out हो गया था. 2 or 3 शायद कुछ copies बचा पड़ा है. So I told them, let's bring it back as a single graphic novel. So they said that yeah, you please go ahead. So then I partnered up with Ravi Tanwar of Comic Haveli.
Comic Haveli.
Yeah.
अभी इस point पे तो ये it's available on I suppose Comics Haveli and on
आज Flipkart में चालू हो गया है.
Flipkart पे भी चालू हो चुका है.
Flipkart में because I also run a parallel I'm also one of the sellers. So my dad actually takes care of that, some of the books.
Okay.
तो अभी ये क्या है कि if you buy from Flipkart, you will get 8 art cards. वो कुछ fancy art cards है. तो वो उसके साथ 8 art cards we are giving free with every purchase, be it hardcover, be it paperback. So I've just posted on it today on my Facebook page. So people who are interested, they can come and check it out and buy from Flipkart. Because we are trying to be a little more exclusive with Flipkart because Amazon का सर्विस उतना अच्छा नहीं है यार. मतलब पहले जैसा था अभी थोड़ा प्रॉब्लम चल रहा है. Flipkart on the other hand, they have improved it. And if people who are from Calcutta, they want to buy this book, they can DM me. I can I can arrange so that you can personally pick up the copy from either from my home or from my dad or someone. That option is also there.
इंडिया में फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल कॉमिक बुक्स ही एक ऐसा वर्ड है जो कि हर ग्राफिक नॉवल को, हर बुक को टैग कर दिया जाता है कि इट्स अ कॉमिक बुक. एंड व्हेन यू से कॉमिक बुक, यू यूजुअली इन इंडिया वी थिंक अच्छा कॉमिक बुक्स फॉर किड्स. ऐसा बिल्कुल नहीं है. वी माइट बी नोइंग अबाउट इट बिकॉज हम तो चलो उस सर्कल में हैं, दिन रात रहते हैं. बट there are so many people just as on in the comic convention हमें देखने को मिलता है that
इंडियन कॉमिक्स मतलब ऐसा देख रहे हैं कि बस दुनिया का 7वां अजूबा देख लिया इंडियन. मैंने बोला तो फिर आके ऐसे ऐसे पलटाएगा. And I get so pissed off, पहले तो मतलब now I get very I get very hyper looking at them. आके ऐसे ऐसे देखेगा मतलब कुछ अजीब सा देख रहे हैं, मतलब कतार में खड़ा होके कुछ हसलर का मैगजीन का कुछ देख रहे हैं, ऐसा कुछ लग रहा है. I tell them, yeah, buy them, give it a try. Yeah, maybe some other time, Fuck off, man, seriously.
What exactly is the origin of TaraNath Tantrik? as a beginner, I want to know that. ये तारानाथ तांत्रिक की शुरुआत हुई कहाँ से है?
TaraNath Tantrik actually, it was first written by Vibhutibhushan Bandyopadhyay, who is like a very famous writer from Bengal and very old writer, like the 50s and 40s used to write. You have seen Satyajit's Pother Pachali. It was written by him. It was based on his novel. So he also wrote a number of very nice ghost stories, horror stories, and all this. So among one of them, a few of them were based on this character called TaraNath Tantrik. So this guy is just an old guy. I think during the 50s era, Calcutta, he used to live somewhere. He's an astrologer. So there are two guys who comes to his place, to listen to his stories. Like he says that he has solved a lot of, like he has gone through a lot of these supernatural experiences and everything. These two guys, they go to his place and he used to tell them stories. He's also got a young daughter called Chari. So, but that was the story. Like there was this tantric and he got, his guru's name was, there was a Bhairavi called Matu Pagli.
Oh God.
So, yeah, you've seen it. So basically what you see in the book, the origin is same. So he was one guy who got into this tantra, black arts and all these things. And he later in life, he became a tantric and an astrologer or something. But what we did was we kept the basic origin same, like that Matu Pagli and TaraNath Tantrik, that we have kept same. But we have told a different story, completely different story altogether. Even if you see the look of the character. So in the original story, there were two friends who he used to come to his place. They were, I don't know what their names were, some two different names. So in this book, his two friends Shankar and Vibhu, these are my homages to the writer Vibhutibhushan. So Vibhu is actually Vibhutibhushan himself, and this guy is a fledgling horror novelist. And so apart from just the origin, the entire story is completely mine. Though there are homages to Satyajit, a lot of Bengali stalwart. There is a scene in the coffee house, if you have seen somewhere in between.
Exactly.
Towards the end. So if you see closely and if you know the diaspora of Bengali, like all the Bengali stalwarts were there, political, film, a lot of characters, not real life people were there. So yeah, so basically apart from that, everything is new. So there is a copyright on this character. Even the TNT, though it is an acronym, though it is that has been copyrighted. You can't just say that it is somebody. I don't know. I think he didn't mean any harm, but he said there is an adaptation. It's not an adaptation. It's a completely new story, keeping the basic character same, but giving it a completely new avatar. So basically, if you have read the book, so you have seen that the city of Calcutta is rotten. They're saying. So and honestly, West Bengal is a rotten state right now. I will get a little political now. So the golden era, or you can say the Renaissance, the Bengali Renaissance. There were so many people who did so many good stuff. Everywhere in politics, sports, films, everywhere, Bengalis were shining. But then came this, left government, and it started stagnating the entire, intelligentsia of the whole Bengali population. And after this, and they ruled for 34 years. 34 years means almost a lifetime, And then this TMC government, it came in. And it is even worse, than what was. So Bengal is somewhat, it's a cursed state. From beginning itself, it went through partition, it went through that Naxalite revolution. It has gone through immense violence. So that I wanted to reflect in the story. People think Bengali means Rasagolla and all this. It's not that. It's the history of our state, the history of Calcutta is extremely grim, dark. It's not what is projected outside. It's a very sinister world. And the way things happen over there, and the people also, they have. Honestly, I'm telling you, most of the Bengalis, they have migrated in. The educated Bengali youth, they have migrated in. The only जो बोलते हैं ना वो मटन निकल गया छाट रह गया तो वही छाटी है अभी वहां पे। जितने भी मतलब सब वो पार्टी के पीछे पड़े रहते हैं, दादा दादा दीदी दीदी, वही चलता है। वो सिंडिकेट बाजी, गुंडागिरी, ये सब, इट्स अ रॉटन स्टेट. So what our villain was trying to do is actually reflected in what is happening in the society right now. He wanted to destroy everything. Like you can say it is the same thing what Bane wanted to do, or Ra's al Ghul wanted to do in Batman. But this state is actually, like it is becoming like Gotham. You can say it's horrible. If you go over there, you will feel like like there is no hope. Like it's nothing. It's just like just go have good food, stay there with your family, and come back to wherever you are working. Like there's no job opportunities over there. Entertainment, the whole Bengali film industry is under a collapse right now. So there's no money. There is only one house who is ruling everything, and it's a complete monopoly, and that also politicized. Like the political, these dadas, they have taken over. Like it's terrible. It's terrible.
Talking about the antagonist of the story, आर्को, मुझे याद है कि जिस तरीके से उसकी आपने बिगनिंग दिखाई, द फ्लैशबैक, द नक्सलाइट्स पार्ट, and the way Rono, Inspector Rono Nyogi was being introduced. It's amazing.
Rono Nyogi is actually like inspired from a real life character.
Okay.
There was a character, there was a person called Runuguho Nyogi.
Oh.
So that guy, just do a little search. He was a cop. He was a very high-ranking cop. And whatever atrocities you are seeing in the book, they were done in real life.
तारानाथ तांत्रिक का सीक्वल क्या आएगा? क्या आगे की स्टोरीज आ सकती हैं?
इंशाल्लाह आना तो चाहिए, लेकिन क्या है कि I don't have artists. Honestly speaking, I don't have any artists with me right now. And I have spoken to Cat and Mouse. They are saying that they are interested to bankroll this project, because until and unless the whatever the web series or movie whatever comes, they are like they are also looking forward to keep the character alive. So पैसे का तो शायद हो भी जाएगा, लेकिन आर्टिस्ट कहाँ है यार? इंडिया में आर्टिस्ट नहीं है. सब बोला ना मैंने आपको, सब डॉलर के चक्कर.
There are some certain people जिनका मैं नाम नहीं लूंगा, but they have said that Shamik Dasgupta is hard to work with.
Yeah, I'm hard to work with.
ये कहा गया है.
I'm very hard to work with. I am ruthless. Like when it comes to my book, my pages, I won't give you like green signal until you have done it. Like you are completely like perfect. तो वो तो है बाबा, वो तो मैं इस मामले में थोड़ा खड़ूस हूँ. मैं आर्टिस्ट को मैं until unless I'm satisfied मैं छोड़ता नहीं. तो कुछ लोग क्या बोलते हैं कि ठीक है चलो हो गया. But now actually I will tell you, now I have become much more mellow. मैं तो पहले और भी मतलब सड़ू था. लेकिन now I have become, because I am working with this guy from Bangladesh, Tahidul Iqbal Sampath. He's actually quite a like he's very famous in Bangladesh and he's a veteran artist.
Okay. The same artist जिनको आपने I think रक्षक के लिए इंट्रोड्यूस करा है.
रक्षक में काम कर रहा है, देवी चौधरी में काम कर रहा है. That guy is a workhorse, like. और ये आदमी ऐसा है ना, मैं जब भी उसको कुछ बोलता हूँ कि भाई थोड़ा ये चेंज करो, तुरंत करके भेज देगा. भाई थोड़ा ये कर दो, तुरंत करके भेज देगा. तो ही इज वेरी प्रोफेशनल एंड he's a pleasure to work with.
तो क्या मैं ये कंक्लूड करूं कि ये एक मजबूरी है या ये मौके की जरूरत है कि आप शामिक दासगुप्ता एआई की तरफ रुख कर रहे हैं?
नहीं, मैं एआई की तरफ नहीं जा रहा हूँ. मुझे कोई, मेरा इतना टाइम नहीं है बाबा वो बैठ के एआई में वो करना वो सब. लेकिन अगर कोई एआई यूज करके आर्टवर्क बना सकते हैं तो आई डोंट हैव एनी इश्यूज विद दैट. लाइक इफ यू कैन गिव मी व्हाट आई वांट. सी आई एम अ राइटर, आई एम नॉट एन आर्टिस्ट. आई हैव गॉट अ विजन. आई डू आर्ट कॉन्सेप्ट बिकॉज मेरा विजुअल्स मुझे पता है कि मुझे क्या चाहिए. तो अगर मैं आपको विजुअल्स बता दूंगा तो आप अगर वो एआई यूज करके करो, वो आप सिंटिक में करो, वाटर कलर में करो, I don't have any issues with that. You do whatever you want. You give me the end result. So if some artist can use AI and can create artwork with that, he's always welcome. Because AI में तो भाई सब कुछ, see the quality of, पहले तो कुछ इधर उधर का प्रॉब्लम था, now तो quality is fantastic. So अभी आर्टिस्ट लोग अगर इतना प्राइसी बिहेव करेंगे और डॉलर चाहिए तो बाहर चलो, ये चलो, और बाहर से भी कुछ लोग पोच कर रहे हैं इन आर्टिस्ट को यहाँ से। एक भी आर्टिस्ट, हम लोग उन लोगों को डेवलप करते हैं, वी वी गिव देम बुक्स टू वर्क ऑन, एंड वन डे दे सडनली द बर्ड फ्लू द नेस्ट। तो ये गलत है यार, और उसके बाद ये कवर भी नहीं करेंगे ये लोग, which is very wrong. You are forgetting your roots. We are the guys who gave you this opportunity. Now you are going to DC and Marvel and you are thinking that bloody we are. क्या होगा DC और Marvel में? ऐसे कई आर्टिस्ट हैं, maybe you are getting paid in dollars, but DC और Marvel में आप 2-4 बैटमैन का बुक बनाओगे, ये बनाओगे, लोग भूल भी जाएंगे 2 दिन बाद, कोई याद नहीं रखेंगे। Gaurav will be remembered because his work is going to be adapted as a live action, first graphic novel to live action adaptation in India. And we are working towards that. We are giving it our best. So have that respect. No, Indian publisher, Indian writer आपको नर्चर कर रहे हैं, आपको चांस दे रहे हैं पहली बार काम करने के लिए, और 2 दिन बाद आप फॉरेन भाग रहे हो just because of dollar rates.
Can you give me?
करो, कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं है. I'm not saying that if you are getting better money, do it. But बीच-बीच में थोड़ा हमारा भी काम करो ना. और कुछ लोग तो जैसे अश्विन, he is even ready to pay in dollar rates also. Still they are अभी क्या बताऊं,
क्या प्रॉब्लम्स फेस करी हैं आपने, इफ यू कैन टेल इट?
बताया मैंने काफी लोगों से, जैसे जिन लोगों ने काम किया है मेरे साथ, बताया कि भाई कवर बना दे, वो बना दे। ऐसे ऐसे लोग, मतलब जिन लोगों को मैं नर्चर किया है, देयर आर बॉयज मैंने शुरू से उन लोगों को नर्चर किया है। आई डोंट वांट टू गिव एनी नेम्स, देयर वाज अ बॉय whom I nurtured. I gave him first opportunity to work in comics. He did around 5 to 10 comics, and then I gave him the first job in his life also in Graphic India. And then he left that job, and after that, one day I asked him to do one cover for Rakshak or something, I don't remember, long time back. Ha dada, I will do, and then he disappears. I kept on asking 2-3 times. I asked, and then he said नहीं बाबा, नहीं चाहिए, मत करो। ऐसा भी दूसरे भी आर्टिस्ट जो भी अब बाहर में, थोड़ा बाहर का चस्का जिन लोगों को लग गया है, वो लोग क्या कर रहे हैं, जिन लोगों से अच्छा रिलेशनशिप भी है, बोलूंगा भाई एक कवर बना दे, हाँ दादा बनाएंगे, देन यू डिसअपीयर। मेल करो, मैसेज करो, कोई रिप्लाई नहीं।
लोग कहेंगे,
and these guys they will get their comeback. I'm telling you, they will get their comeuppance because AI will take over. I'm telling you, मेरे को अगर कवर अगर AI से बनाना है, बना लूंगा मैं, क्या है, आपसे बेटर ही बनाएगा, कलर वाला सब कुछ करके फिनिश करके AI बना के देगा मेरे को, क्यों चाहिए मुझे?
लोग कहेंगे इस बात पे कि शामिक दा हाइपर हो रहे हैं।
नहीं, मैं जितना मैंने फेस किया है ना, मैं सीरियसली बता रहा हूँ मैं आपको, जितना मैंने फेस किया है ऐसे लोगों के साथ, मतलब आई हैव रियली गिवन अप होप। अभी कोई आके मेरे से अगर आर्ट का कुछ पूछे कि दादा मेरे को आर्ट का देखो, मैं बोला भाई मैं आर्टिस्ट नहीं हूँ, मैं राइटर हूँ, आप कोई आर्टिस्ट से गाइडेंस लो, मैं सीधा बता देता हूँ। आई हैव बिकम वेरी बिटर आफ्टर दिस।
ओके,
ऐसे कुछ लोगों के साथ मेरा पाला पड़ा है, जिन लोगों को मैंने शुरू से नर्चर किया, और वो लोग बाद में जाके मतलब एक भी काम नहीं किया मेरे, एक भी नहीं।
डीसी मार्वल इसके लिए काम करना गलत तो नहीं है?
गलत नहीं है, करो, कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं, करो, लेकिन एक आध चीजें तो, इंडिया में आर्टिस्ट की कमी है भाई, तो एक आध कुछ चीजें तो हमारे लिए भी कर दो, और पैसा भी दे रहे हैं हम लोग।
ओके ओके फाइन।
आप पूछ लो ना, you know some of these artists who have been working, you ask them which Indian publisher he has worked with last, just for a cover or something like that. Last 5 to 6 years they have worked on, जब से वहां का चस्का लग गया they have stopped. Comics में, comics I will always do in my life because that's my first love. I will keep on making comics, but मैंने बहुत मतलब ठोकर खाया है यहाँ, तो that is the reason I have become a little numb right. इंडिया का हाल देखो, आर्टिस्ट ही नहीं है, कौन है? राज कॉमिक्स से कुछ गिने चुने आर्टिस्ट लोग, वो राज कॉमिक्स से बाहर काम नहीं करेंगे, पैसा दो तो भी नहीं करेंगे, तो दैट इज द सिचुएशन। ये पीपल आर आस्किंग मी कि आप कॉमिक्स बनाओ, मैं कैसे बनाऊं भाई, कॉमिक्स बनाने के लिए तो आर्टिस्ट भी चाहिए मुझे, तो हाउ विल आई मेक? तो जो है अभी वही है, अभी क्या करूं।
लेट्स होप फॉर द बेस्ट। और इसी पॉइंट के साथ में आज के इस चैट को हम यहाँ पे
बहुत लंबा चैट
करते हैं। मजा आया और इंटरेस्टिंग रहा ये। लेकिन हाँ, जाने से पहले मैं एक चीज जरूर कहना चाहूंगा। आपका जो मुंबई कॉमिक कॉन का जो वीडियो था, उसमें मैंने कोशिश करी थी कि जितने भी पब्लिशर्स हैं हम उनको सामने ला सकें। उसमें उसके कुछ सेगमेंट्स में आप भी हैं। मेरी एक फ्रेंड है, उनका नाम है दीपिका। right from that very specific convention, she has become a huge fan of yours.
Oh,
A
sorry.
huge fan of yours. She's probably right now watching this and probably blushing a lot because yeah, मतलब मैंने the first thing she asked was who's this hottie? Tell me.
Oh,
And then I gave her the village because तब तक मेरे पास ये नहीं था, तब में नहीं था. तो village from मतलब मेरे को भी एक पर्सपेक्टिव मिला क्योंकि लाइक कैसा लगेगा किसी और को पढ़ने में, स्पेशली अगर मैं अपने किसी फीमेल फ्रेंड को देता हूं जो कि कॉमिक फील्ड से नहीं है, बिल्कुल भी नहीं, आउटसाइड. And she's a professor in my university, and she read it, and I mean, completely, she's right now a full fan of yours. तो right now, before leaving, मैं चाहूंगा कि आप definitely दीपिका के लिए एक मैसेज जरूर दे दें, because she'll be more than happy with this. She's a huge fan of yours, and yeah, she'll be watching this.
Deepika, please do read TNT, TaraNath Tantrik-City of Sorrows. I think if you liked Village, you will like this one also. And,
Yes.
Thank you for liking my work. And I am very active on Facebook. I'm not too much on Instagram. I'm too old for Instagram. So, so I'm very much active on Facebook. You can connect with me, ask any questions, whatever you want.
All right then. Thank you so very much, Shamik ji. मैं आपके समय के लिए बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया.
Okay, thank you so much.
All right, Shamik bhai. Thank you so very much. Take care. Goodbye.
Take care. Bye bye.